Okay.
Your number 5, Eric's number 5, is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Your list is crazy. What's wrong with you?
All right. So.
Welcome to The Fourth Act, our entertainment podcast where every Friday we discuss a topic in TV, movies, and more. Today we're doing our first music topic with my friend Eric.
What up?
Making his debut on the podcast with a topic tailor-made for you. We're going to be talking about Jermaine
Cole.
J. Cole. Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, so help us get there. And what else? You want to just get right into it?
Yeah, I guess so.
J. Cole is a rapper and record producer out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. After signing to Jay-Z in 2009, J. Cole has released a mixtape into Friday Night Lights and 6 studio albums that all debuted at #1 on the U.S. Billboard 200. Cole has won a Grammy for Best Rap Song, and all 6 of his albums are certified platinum. And for some reason, he's on the cover of 2K.
Before we start, I would actually like to gift this to you.
Oh, what? On camera?
Yep, this is a signed J. Cole KOD that I bought online. It took me like 4 months to get it.
Yeah.
I remember I sent emails. I fucking call. I was trying to call. I was trying to text J. Cole himself. Like, hey, man, where the fuck is my signed vinyl? It came with a t-shirt, a CD, and a signed vinyl.
I remember when you got this. Do you have another one?
No, it came with this, a CD, and a t-shirt, and this is my most prized possession, I guess I could say.
And
but
you're giving it to me?
I would love to give it to you for the pod. There you go. It's all good. I know
this is so unexpected.
I know you'll cherish it and care for it as much as I did.
Dang, late birthday present, huh?
Yeah.
Can I give it back to you on your birthday that's coming up?
I guess you can hold it for the year, and then you can give it back to me.
I'll think about it.
Both ours.
I'll see what I do with it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you can leave it there. You can hang it up.
Not scripted, by the way. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Not at all. No, that is a gift from me to you.
Okay.
Yeah. There's plenty more where that came from, sis. So,
damn. You see,
super bad reference.
You're meant for the podcast, and you're like, I'm going to make some content.
Well, I've had a while to prepare and think. So,
well, actually, before we get into it, there's going to be timestamps and everything. So if you just want to get into the discussion, we're going to have each round. We're going to reveal to each other what our favorite is, what our favorite albums are in order. We're going to rank all 6 studio albums and 1 mixtape, Friday Night Lights. There's going to be a reason for that, for the 1 mixtape. We'll get into that later during our explanations. But go ahead, skip forward if you want. But first, I kind of just want to have a general conversation. Is J. Cole your favorite artist? Like number 1?
I'd say so. I go back and forth. I teeter-totter between...
What's like a top 3?
Between J. Cole... an Atmosphere and Slug of Atmosphere.
Still to this day.
Still, I wanted to go see them in November. We weren't able to get the tickets, but I just seen them last year in LA. I had seen them like 2 years prior to that. So I'd say it's a toss up between Slug of Atmosphere, J. Cole. It goes into Mac Miller, of course.
Okay,
Greaves of Ramsayers. I really fuck with him.
I didn't realize, because those probably would have been the ones that I would have picked for you, like just if I had to answer the question for you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were still your favorite.
Up to this day.
You kind of like get up to a point and then you stop like digging into music, huh?
No, exactly.
Like not just you, but just in general.
Yeah, dog. I listen to the fucking same songs, same albums. You know, I try to listen to new music and I try to, expand into this new generation of music, but I can't, dog.
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking...
You try to do Little Babies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not for me, as unfortunate as that might sound.
For me, I think top 3. Now, it's not just hip hop, just top 3 artists. Definitely J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I fuck with Kendrick a lot too.
And Linkin Park.
Linkin Park, I like that.
Now, I think as I'm getting older, I don't know if there's any correlation, but as I'm getting older, I think my favorite is Linkin Park. Surprisingly.
Well, think about how many times over the years we're fucking screaming lyrics at each other.
Yeah.
And fucking karaoke.
Hell yeah. How many Transformers?
Underneath, or what is it? What is it what we always do?
Well, which one?
Oh,
there's plenty.
The Linkin Park song where it's
there's
like...
Breaking the Habit.
Underneath the Surface, or what does he say? Come on, dog, come on.
I don't know. There's so many
on the spot. Whatever. But
it's gonna hit you later.
There's one song where me and you always sing it back and forth to each other, and then on that specific bar, me and you both go like, he's talking about like underneath.
Are you talking about in the end? Crawling in my skin.
Yeah, maybe
underneath the skin. I'm trying to think of under.
Yeah,
we always sing it to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like my top 3 artists too. So yeah, J. Cole's in there for me. J. Cole's in there for you.
Yeah.
You wanted to get on the pod. I wanted you to get on the pod.
Yeah.
This was
and,
immediately your first
I'd like
idea.
I'd like to give you the credit and the kudos. You were the one who put me on to J. Cole.
Oh, you finally admit it.
I finally admit
it's been a running joke.
Yeah.
You always said, "Oh, I'm the one that showed you J. Cole."
And I'd like to think, I remember the exact day. We were at your mom's. You were in your room. You had your computer set up, and you were like, "Have you heard of this guy J. Cole?" You were on fucking LimeWire
or FrostWire,
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No." And you played me a couple songs. I think the first songs was like "Good Game," fucking "Higher."
Yeah. It was the come up and the warm. Friday Night Lights was not out yet.
No, yeah. And I remember I went home and I went on the LimeWire myself, and I just started trying to get every fucking song that I could. And I remember I had a laptop and I had all kinds of tracks on there.
Yeah.
And so I would like to officially end the debate that you showed me J. Cole.
I need you to get on the pod more because you're making me feel good. You give me gifts, you give me kudos.
And it's so crazy. I'd like to think, and over the years people have told me that, like every time I listen to J. Cole, I think of you. Or I'd like to think, not to gas myself up, but I actually think I put a lot of people onto J. Cole.
Oh yeah.
And you put me on a J. Cole, so I always just think
see
of that,
it's like in like football when there's a coaching tree. I'm like the head. I'm like John Gruden.
Yeah.
And then my coaching tree, you're like the Sean McVay. And then underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so tight.
Sick. Well, you showed me Atmosphere, so I'll give you that.
I guess we're even Stevens. No Shia LaBeouf.
No Shia LaBeouf. Is that a bar?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, in the name of J. Cole, I guess we can spit a few bars ourselves.
Okay, last thing, and then we'll get into it. What do you think it is that we like him so much for? Because he came up in like that underground era, like we're on FrostWire, LimeWire, downloading illegally. Right. It was that transition into streaming, Yeah. I mean, years later, but still, he's from that era. Like he debuted in 2009, 10. Like I listened to him my freshman year. You were a junior.
I felt like it was my sophomore year, but you're right. If I'm a year some change older than you, I would have been a junior.
So he's somewhere in between. He's middle child.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in between. Yeah. And I feel like he's an underground art. He wasn't underground though. He was signed to Jay-Z. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird. Yeah. But it felt like we were watching him from the underground, like right before he broke out.
And I felt like it took a lot for him. It took a lot for him to come up, and it took a lot for people to actually start listening and grasp onto him.
Yeah.
And like me and you knew it off the bat. We were like, all right, like this,
But that's what I'm saying. It's almost like we picked somebody to root for, and then he actually became one of the top 3 rappers in the world.
Yeah. And my cousin Alec always tells me, he's like you called it. You always say that like J. Cole was the one, like J. Cole's the one. And I'm like, dog, like we fucking knew it from the very beginning.
But it's just so weird. Like, not that we were there from day one. Like, can you imagine being there? Like if you're from like local wherever he was
when he's
rapping,
passing out fucking CDs and mixtapes,
and you're just like, I'm gonna get behind this guy. Like there's something there.
Yeah, trying to get Jay-Z to fucking take his album outside the record studio.
That's what I'm saying. So we weren't there that early, but we're there before he blew up for sure.
Before the Valley, that's for damn sure.
Before the Valley, yeah. You're exposing us now. People know where we're from. You don't know which Valley.
Yeah, I could be any Valley.
But yeah, I'm ready to get into it if you are.
Jermaine.
Yeah. Cole.
Jermaine Cole. So again, we're going to start ranking them now. I'm going to reveal his list that I've never seen. He's going to reveal my list that he's never seen. And I'm going to pick yours first.
Okay.
So number 7 for Eric's J. Cole rankings. KOD.
I told you my list is going to be a little bit
KOD.
Shocking to you.
And that's this album. That's why you're giving it to me.
But it's not.
Because you don't give a shit about this album.
No, it's not to say and this list isn't to say in any form that I dislike this album or this album is not good or
something's got to
be
last.
Something's got to be last. And for me, it was really the approach that he brought to this album for me that was like, okay, he's glorifying the drugs and the women and the alcohol. And for me, it was kind of like, I see what you're trying to do here, and I see the style of music that you're introducing here to kind of be like the Lil Pumps, if you will, or that whole style and genre of new music.
Yeah.
So he's almost mocking it. You know, he's
almost. That's what I was going to mention to you, because you're saying he's glorifying it, but I think he is making fun of it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's so to me, it was kind of like, okay, I really like the album. There's a few good songs in here that I really love, but compared to all of his other albums, where I feel like he's not that he's not saying anything here. Let's not say that at all. Right. But I feel like where he's coming from for me was just kind of okay. It's not so much. He's not so much talking about his experiences and his life lessons and shit that he's gone through. He's more talking about,
which is like what he's come up on. Like we know so much about him because of that.
Yeah. So that was the reason that is dead last. But again, not to say that means anything, because I love this album. I wanted this fucking sign thing for a long time. So yeah, KOD. Okay, what do you think KOD stands for?
He said it was Kids on Drugs.
Kids on Drugs.
I mean,
right?
He said it's a couple things, whatever. But look at the album cover, which is, by the way, if we're doing album covers, this is my number one.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a nice painting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, like look at it. It's a bunch of kids on different types of drugs underneath this rapper who's glorifying the drugs. Exactly. That's why I'm a little surprised you don't like the concept, because, I mean, I'll get more into my whole thing with J. Cole and his concept albums, because I don't think they're that great.
Right.
Like a Kendrick Lamar concept album is like, he takes you on a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
This is kind of like, he's like half and half out. Like he kind of does a concept, but you know, I like how like the hit songs sound like they're about money and about like drugs, but if you pay attention, they're not, and he's talking shit about them.
Yeah.
So I thought that's pretty clever. I'll get more into it when it comes up on my list.
Yeah,
so.
And this is a badass album. I ain't saying anything about it.
Should we rate them 1 through 10, all of them?
We could.
If you want.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
one through 10. Yeah, we do whatever the hell we want here at Act 4 Media.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 through 10. What do you give it?
I give it a solid 7.
Okay. I'll get to it. I'll do mine when I get
7 there. As in number 7 of the 7 albums that he has. Wow.
Wow. Full circle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now go ahead and reveal my number 7.
Alrighty. That's nothing. The sideline story. Wow, that's surprising to me.
Now, the sideline story to me, the reason why it's last, and just to get it out of the way, I'll probably give this one a 7 out of 10 too. I think that this was his first, like, this is kind of him selling out. Like, when I don't go to this album a lot, and the songs that I do go to are like In the Morning and
oh, that's horrible.
You don't like In the Morning?
That's one of my least favorite songs off that.
I think I like
it, especially the one with Drake. If you remember,
dude, Drake like Drake and J. Cole coming up together in like 2009, and like I think I like it for the nostalgia. You don't like them together.
To me, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Whoops.
Well, you say you don't like them together, so why don't you like them together?
Yeah. I don't like them together. No, not that I don't like them together. I don't on that song, but
okay.
There was a In the Morning without him.
Oh yeah, a third verse,
and that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I
really
J. Cole enjoyed. Verse, yes, and then so to me, I always looked for that. And then when the album, because we heard that song way before the fucking album came out, and for me, when that song came out and Drake was on it, I was like, "What the fuck? Where's J. Cole's third verse at?" So I missed it. Is what I mean. I guess by that I missed the third verse. Now I don't even fucking remember because I can't find it. You go try to find that.
It's on Friday or the warm up, isn't it?
No, it's on or
is it on Friday Night Lights?
No, I don't think it's on there anymore. We'll have to look.
I think the original version for sure is on one of those. I think it's on the warm up. But yeah, the Drake version is on Sideline Story.
Yeah,
and
I just missed his verse.
It might just be more nostalgia for me than anything, because I don't listen to that song now. Like, I'm trying to let the goosebumps on the inner thigh show. I'm not all like, ooh.
No, it don't hit the same.
Yeah, definitely. It might just be nostalgia for me. But like when I was re-listening to it, like Lights Please comes on, I think right after that. I think it's In the Morning.
Yeah, it's either or.
Which is like this song about like sex or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, well, it definitely is. And then right after it's Lights Please about like, you know, about him trying to convince this girl that like, oh, there's more to him than just like sex. So like, it's kind of like contrasts. But like, I like both those songs. Lost One, or I think Lost Ones is the one.
Oh, Lost Ones hit real hard. Yeah, that was a good song.
Lost Ones is the one where he's like both the girl and the guy in the situation, and he knocked her up, and they're both giving their perspective.
And that's J. Cole for you right there. That's where he excels, in my opinion. That's right. His storytelling, his ability to paint a picture in your head of. Yeah. You know, what he's saying.
Yeah, because he is a pretty good storyteller.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He kind of got away from that a little bit. But anyway, the reason why it's so low is because there are so many songs in here, like Mr. Nice Watch. trash.
Yeah, that one can get out of here.
Even like the intro, like Dollar in the Dream 3 is nothing like Dollar in the Dream Part 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2 is just bars. 3 is kind of like just like an intro to the album.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like Workout, Can't Get Enough, like are the singles. And Workout, I like Workout. He doesn't like Workout. He talks shit about it, about selling out and all that. Yeah. But I Can't Get Enough, trash. Take that.
I like that song. All right, well, but let's talk about the serious side of that album though. What about the actual song, the Sideline Story?
Yeah, so that
was one of my favorite songs.
That's probably the best song on there. Yeah. But yeah, for my highlights on here, I have the interlude / Sideline Story.
Yeah,
it feels like there's a J. Cole, like an actual J. Cole album he wanted to make in there, but around it is some commercial shit so he can sell the album,
right? Because
he's talked about in how Friday Night Lights, he wanted that one to be his album. Which is why we're including it in this list, because like that's when he wanted it to be. But then he's even mentioned like Jay said like we'll never like where the singles at because we'll never put your album out without one.
Yeah.
So he had to put singles out so he can get his album out. Like he was signed to Jay-Z since 2009 and
imagine
didn't drop.
The pressure on that. Imagine the pressure of saying, okay, you need to make a single, and him trying to figure that out, and then putting out like Workout, and then there was Who Dat. Remember Who Dat came out was like the first single off this album. And then the Workout came out, and that song actually hit. That song got him, So imagine, just think about him and the pressure that he was under to be like, fuck, I can't release this album because I don't have fucking hits on the radio. Like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it feels like a lessened version of J. Cole for half the album. Like I feel like he's trying to get some songs on there that he thinks people will like, but then the songs on there that he makes for himself are really good. So I have like Lights Please, Sideline Story, In the Morning, Lost Ones. Even Nobody's Perfect. That's a good single with Missy Elliott.
That is a good single.
If we had to go off the singles, that's my favorite one. Even like Never Told.
So I want to talk about Never Told. Never Told is one of my top favorite songs off that album, and even off my top 10 list.
That's some real shit, huh?
Doug, I love what he talks about. It's super relatable. And you asked earlier why do we think that we like J. Cole so much? And everybody has their own different shit that they go through and experiences in life, but I feel like growing up or whatever, there's a lot of shit that he talks about that I do relate to, and that I do even now as a man and doing things through life. I can go back and listen to this shit and kind of relate to it. And Never Told is a perfect example of that.
That song's really good. Breakdown that comes out like right after that too.
Doug, Breakdown is number 2 on my list. And again, I might sound like a broken record, but again, for the relatability of that Breakdown, that first verse hits so hard. Like, if you remember it off the top,
not off the top, no.
But he's talking about his dad. He's talking about, at the end, he talks about his mom being on drugs. Not that my mom was ever on drugs. But at least that first verse,
But then even if it doesn't directly relate to you, you probably know somebody who it does. Like you can at least like feel what he's talking about. And I think that's why we like him so much, is that he's like Big Brother J. Cole. Like that's always like the aura around him that he's carried, where it's even when he wasn't one of the top 3 rappers, it felt like, okay, well this guy's in it for me. Like I can relate to this guy.
And it was almost like I think Logic has a bar where he says something about like,
big J. Cole fan, Logic
being your like best kept little secret, and that you almost don't want people to get on all him and fucking glorify him like that either, and you don't want him to get big and blow up because that he's fucking something special, if you will.
Now I'm gonna put you on blast a little bit because it was hilarious. I wish I maybe I'll edit in a screenshot of our text. No, I won't. But when Forest Hills Drive came out, or I think it was after that, I think it was For Your Eyes Only. Because Forest Hills Drive blew him up like big. Yeah. So For Your Eyes Only came out, and that was like the first album where it's just like everybody's talking about it and is hyped about it. And when the album dropped, like the day of, you're just like, man, like all these people are talking about like J. Cole, like all of a sudden, and you're just like, you said we were on his dick first.
You're gonna scroll back and find those.
No, I'm not. Texts? That's not like some old phone.
By the way, that's not true.
I said that. Totally made that up. Totally made that up. All right. Number 6 like I said at the beginning, or Sideline Story, 7 out of 10 for me. It's not bad, but the reason why I knock it 3 numbers is because there's a good like 40% of the album is like songs that I feel like aren't J. Cole. Right. Like it just feels like, you didn't made that because you thought you had to.
Kind of forced.
That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
All right. Eric's number 6. The Fall Off.
Yeah,
The Fall Off?
unlikely opinion. Oh, is it called The Off Season?
The Off
Oh,
Season,
fuck,
you mean?
I fucked up.
That's okay. That's okay. Because at the end of his album before, he teased The Fall Off, and we still haven't got it.
Yeah,
You mean The Off Season?
yeah.
Now
Well,
this-
can you fix that? Can I fix that? Can we?
Well, this is just for me, for my record.
Okay. Well,
I can do a new take and pretend like
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, can we? Is that too much to ask for?
Eric's number 6 is The Off Season.
There you go.
I'm not editing shit, by the way. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Eric's number 6 is The Off
You call
Season.
yourself a J. Cole fan?
Nah.
You call yourself a delivery man?
You're giving away your
Why are you
stuff.
buying it?
Okay. This I'm a little upset about.
Oh, dog, it's so.
Why?
Believe me, it was hard for me to make this list. It's just. Oh, dog, it's so hard. And this album specifically, I listened to it so much when I quit my job when I was doing Instacart. And I would just play it over and over again. And, with any other J. Cole album, I'll fucking memorize that shit from start to finish. And for whatever reason, this album, I couldn't. I couldn't get there. I love all the songs.
It's like 10 songs.
Yeah, I know. But I just couldn't get there. Hold My Hand is probably one of the greatest songs on there, in my opinion.
Let Go of My Hand.
Yeah, Let Go of My Hand. Yeah, I keep fucking that up. But, yeah, for whatever reason, dog, this album was super hard for me to get into. And imagine how I felt being a fucking J. Cole fan and listening to this album and feeling like I just couldn't get there with it. I couldn't fucking, and I was listening to it constantly over and over again, Instacarting, going up and down Walmart and fucking Ralph's. But it really just didn't resonate with me. I couldn't. Yeah, that bar about him fighting P. Diddy, that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Doc. There's, and again, this is all opinion. This is all,
And I know you were re-listening to all these albums like I was too.
Yeah.
So even on re-listening, you're just like,
No, I even listened to it last night, and I just, again, I couldn't. It's just, I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's not.
And you're like, this shit's me.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like he got there already, So to me now, I feel like it might be fucked up to say, but he's. Not that he's not hungry anymore, but he kind of is like, all right, well, I did it. Now this is just an album.
You and I have completely different takes on this album, so that's going to be interesting when I get there. But I'm not going to even say anything about mine yet. What about favorite songs from here? Do you have a favorite song or a couple favorite songs?
Let Go of My Hand, probably one of them. Pride of the Devil is dope.
Oh, yeah.
And even 100 Mil. I'll tell you what I didn't like about that album real quick, now that I'm actually thinking about it. I hated the intro to it. I hated the fucking. Who's that, Little John? I don't fucking like that screaming shit in the beginning of the.
I'm trying to remember who it is.
If you scared to get the what? Get the fuck out. I'm like,
it does feel out of character.
Yeah, out of character.
It does feel out of character.
Too much for me, especially to start a J. Cole
With that
album.
being said, I was driving to work and was bumping that shit the other day, and I was going 90.
Yeah.
I should not have been 90 out of 70, but I was like, oh shit, my bad.
I mean, and especially compared to some of the other intros on his albums,
Oh yeah, because before they were inspirational, just hey, I'm working on it, I'm almost there, and then sometimes oh, I got there, but now it's always a catch up.
Right.
This one is different. I think it's appropriate for the album, but again, I'll get into my thoughts when we get there.
And I guess it's his maturity. You can definitely hear it. You can. Yeah.
I don't even want to say what I'm going to say now because I want to wait. But okay. Next up, my number 6. Go for it.
For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only.
Interesting.
Now, this one is the start of conceptual J. Cole. I want to make a concept album.
Yeah.
It's a personal album. So this one, coming right off Forest Hills Drive again, all of a sudden, now he's a top 3 rapper. Everybody knows who J. Cole is now. Everybody and their mama knows who J. Cole is now. So his follow-up is For Your Eyes Only, which is a concept album that's very slow-paced, and I think that was a bad decision. Regardless, he's still on top of the game today, so it doesn't matter. But I think that was a bad decision because this one, he's very much playing a character in the album, and it's cool. I like the idea of it. But again, with his concept albums, he's half in and half out.
Right.
Because he has songs on this album. I mean, I guess to explain very quickly for people who don't know, this album is about his friend, which he's mentioned before and even after. So I'm pretty sure it's very true that his friend had got killed Or he's got a friend that was gangbanging while he was rapping and trying to hustle and get famous, and his friend stayed there. He's talked about it in Tales of Two Cities and stuff like a bunch of times he talks about him. Even like on Close on the off season, he talks about his friend all the time. So I'm assuming it's true. And this album is that album explaining his friend's story. But some of the songs on here, I feel like, even though you're telling the story and it may be the truth, it's kind of like boring sometimes. Like that song with like that Bryson Tiller sample. It's like the second song where he's talking about like finding the girl, like club jumping up top, don't stop.
What,
you know that
Immortal?
one?
Is it Immortal?
Is that Immortal?
The second one, it's For Whom the Bells Toll, and then it's Immortal after that.
Right? Isn't it?
So,
well, whichever one.
I see the rain.
Yeah, that's the intro.
Okay, so that's the first one.
And then he has the song with the Bryson Tiller sample about meeting the girl at the club, and it's like he like talks about like how it's like a friend's girl or some shit like that.
Fuck, I'm not getting it.
You don't know. You don't know why? Because that song sucks. But regardless, like I don't mean just to pick on that song. Just overall, like so J. Cole has a song called like Neighbors on here too. And if you're this far and you're probably a J. Cole fan, you're listening anyway. But like Neighbors, that's a true song about the police raid that happened to J. Cole in real life because his neighbors, he's in a rich neighborhood, and they thought, oh, it's a young black dude. He must be selling drugs. Yeah. So the police, FBI raided him. That's a real life story that happened to J. Cole. But he brings it up in this, like he knew it was a good song. It was a banger. That song's fire. Yeah. That song is great. But it doesn't belong on this album, on this concept album. That's what I mean by like he's half in, half out.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, like there's some like J. Cole songs, and then there's songs that are for the story, the benefit of the story. And then like the She's Mine songs, I really like She's Mine Part 2, that one about like his friend, because again, it's about the perspective of his friend who has a daughter. I love the way that he talks about his daughter, but in She's Mine Part 1, when he's talking about his girl and like how he's talking about her, I'm just like, this is lame.
You don't like it, huh?
I don't like how he's talking about her.
I guess those two songs, are. I mean, they and you're right to say that the album is very slow. Yeah, but I mean, I guess I could say when we get to my choice, but
well, I guess we'll just wait. Like on She's Mine Part 1, he's talking about like the head game stronger than a few Excedrin and everything. Oh yeah, like he's talking about his girl that way. Like it's supposed to be like romantic. It's like this slow song, and maybe the way I justify it is he's talking in the perspective of his friend. His friend's like this little thug, and maybe that's the way he can describe his love for his girl. Your head game's strong. Yeah. But like, who gives a shit?
I don't tell my girl that.
Well, not publicly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard J. Cole talk about his girl that sounds romantic about love, like on
Sacrifice.
Yes, the way that he talks about his girl and his family on there is beautiful.
Yeah, love it.
And I'm just like, nah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, where it's just like, okay, he's in character the way he's talking about her on that song. But just overall, this album, it's kind of nostalgic for me because it was at a certain point in my life too. It was after like a breakup from like the first like girlfriend that I had, like real girlfriend that I had. So the fact that it's like a slower album, and it was like around winter time too, so it was like raining and stuff. Yeah, I kind of like feel like that vibe when I listen to it. So I do like it. Yeah. But same thing, I'd probably give it 7 out of 10. But let me give some highlights since I was kind of negative on it. I love Ville Mentality. I was
gonna bring that up.
I love his flow and that bounce that he has.
Oh, you remember?
Trials and tribulations I'm facing.
You remember when we would always fucking me?
Yeah, me.
That shit, we would do that for so long.
And Change is a very good song. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, if the album's supposed to go in order, like his friend dies in the middle of the album, because the Change is about that. Is about him, about J. Cole hearing that his friend died. Unless it's about J. Cole's friend talking about his friend dying. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. It's messy. Yeah, it's messy. But yeah, Change is really good. Neighbors is good. For Your Eyes Only, the song itself, that's like a 10 out of 10 J. Cole song. Yep. It's just bars.
What is it, like 12 minutes long? Or
yeah,
it's like 7 minutes long,
but it's worth it, because by the time you get to the end and like the last couple bars, it just wraps up the album in a nice little bow. Yeah. And yeah, I'll probably give it somewhere between a 7 and an 8, but I don't do 0.5, so I'm just gonna go 7. Okay, 7 out of 10. Okay. Your number 5, Eric's number 5, is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Your list is crazy. What's wrong with you?
All right, so 2014 Forest Hills Drive. As I was making my notes for this, and I wrote down all of the albums and I wrote down all the album names, I found myself starring tracks that I like the most, right?
Where are you going?
Out of all the albums.
Yeah.
At the end, I had about one song starred from that album.
What?
But again, dog, that's not to say, and here's where I'm going to go with this. I think this came out in 2014.
2015.
Did it come out? Did it
January,
come out in 2014?
January 2015.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I remember that it was around Christmas time. That's why I thought it came out that year. But I played the shit out of this album. This shit was
abused it, man.
His first big album. My dad had just died in 2014, so I felt like this was like almost a comfort for me. Like, fuck, well, at least fucking J. Cole's album is coming out, you know? Yeah. So I kind of felt that way. But to say, I think I abused the shit out of this album, and I think I listened to it so much. I know that album from fucking start to end, every word.
I'll miss a couple words, but yeah, this is the one that for sure I know the most.
I seen, me and my cousin Alec, we went to go see J. Cole.
I was there too.
Oh, you were there too? Yeah, shit. Yeah, look at that.
I was there too. I went with my friend Jose.
I remember. Yeah, because we walked up to you guys.
You guys were VIP, and then we were back
way down there. Yeah. And me and my cousin Alec, dog, we were spitting every bar right with them, and that was so dope because
in my section, nobody knew shit. I was by myself. Like I was all the way in the back.
The whole album from start to finish, dog, and that was so dope.
He sprinkled in some earlier stuff too.
Oh yeah, he did. So because of that, I love this album, dog. This album is such a classic. It's so dope. But I do feel like I played the shit out of it, and I feel like in the grand scheme of albums, it was actually lower on my list, and I brought it back up only because, you know, if you look at my list of at least my favorite songs off of all the albums, I don't have a few good favorite songs, but I think it's just because I don't look at it as songs anymore. I really look at it as the whole album is one fucking giant ass song to me, because I can just play it and spit the whole thing.
I won't spoil where it's at on my list, but I'll tell you this. On a lot of the albums, I did the same thing where, like, what are my favorites? And I'll have like 5 or 6, sometimes 3.
And there's a lot of bangers on there, like GOMD, fucking... Yeah.
Well, let me finish my point. I put under Forest Hills Drive, under my hits, I put Everything But Get Off My Dick. Wow. I don't like that song. I'll get into
it. Was a hit. It was a banger.
Was it?
I think so. That beat is fucking nasty.
I like the beat, but just something about it, or it just, I don't know what it is.
I didn't like the music video.
Where he's freeing his slave brothers. Damn.
Tell the people how you really feel. I'm kidding.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't want to, when I rap along to this album, I don't want to sing Get Off My Dick.
No. So like, even like Street Trope has, even that song, like, it's just like, fuck. Again, I think it's just I listened to it too much, and I think that now I just kind of got over it. I'm like, that album did that.
Yeah,
I abuse the shit out of it.
But don't you think that's like a positive? I mean, it's your list. I'm not trying to change your list. Yeah. But don't you think that means that it's higher up because you're so like, I've been there.
I think I just grew tiresome of it.
Yeah,
I think
so. Eric, today, this is your ranking, but who knows? Maybe in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, when it first came out, fuck that shit, dog. That was my all. I bought the CD like twice, I think, because I fucking I scratched one of them and I went back and bought it again. Then when Apple Music came out, I had that shit on my Apple Music. Like, I definitely listened to it a lot. Even January 28th, the first song on there, that song is so hard. And I'll tell you what, the outro on that, do you wanna be, that shit I absolutely love, dog.
What's the intro?
No, is it?
Yeah.
What's the outro then?
The outro, he doesn't have an outro. Well, the outro is like the credits thing.
Oh, okay. Yes. The beginning of that, when he's shouting everybody out, the beginning of that is what I meant to say. Now I can't even remember it, but fuck it.
I'm trying to remember what the last song is. That's the thing, is like, I know J. Cole so well, and if you played a song right now, I could probably sing most of it.
Right.
But like, when it comes down to like lyrics and stuff, I listened to so many J. Cole songs over the last 2 weeks.
They all kind of blend together almost.
yeah. Like, it's too much just to pick apart.
Yeah.
But the last one, Note to Self is that last song.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
Love Yours is the last song.
Oh.
And that's a big song too.
Yeah.
See, I thought Love Yours was a me thing, because I remember listening to that song at a time where I needed it. I was like, that's my favorite J. Cole song. Yeah. And then as people started listening to J. Cole, and I started meeting more people that listen to J. Cole, everybody said, oh yeah, Love Yours is my favorite. And I was like, you know what? I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah, but I do actually still like it. Uh-huh. Okay, moving on. What number is it?
I see it already.
6.
KOD.
Wait, 5.
What are we? There's 7. 6, 7, 6, 5. Yeah.
My number 5 is KOD. What else? Did I already spoil everything? No, I haven't. So this is J. Cole's second concept album. And again, still, it's not like a great concept. It's about Kids See Ghosts. That's a great album too. 10 out of 10. It's about kids on drugs. So again, as we mentioned earlier, it's about J. Cole rapping from the perspective of a rapper who like doesn't realize his influence on these kids who look up to him and then are on drugs. And every song, or at least most of the songs, are about an addiction, except for that song about taxes.
Oh yeah, and Kevin's Heart.
Kevin's Heart. Oh, this is a banger.
Yeah, I love Kevin's Heart. That's such a good song.
That's the thing. Like this album as a whole, I think is good, not great. I think it's good, but there's so many moments and songs on this album that I think are great, and that's why this ranks higher for me than something like a Sideline Story, or what else did I have down there?
KOD, 4 Years Only,
and For Your Eyes Only. Yeah. Let me go to my little list right here. So yeah, I actually do like that the Kill Edward features that are just J. Cole with like a different voice.
Yeah.
I actually do like those for some reason. Like I remember seeing Anthony Fantano. You know Anthony Fantano, the needle drop melon bald guy? He's like the biggest reviewer.
I don't know. I would have to see him. Probably not though.
Fuck him then.
Yeah.
But
yeah, here we only watch Act 4 Media. Thanks.
Yeah, only Act 4 Media. Like, subscribe, share, and anyway, I remember him. He's like the biggest reviewer. So like, I only go to him when I do want to see an album review. But he's not a big fan of J. Cole. But I remember like him and also other people. That's why I'm bringing this point up. Were criticizing that because J. Cole has no features on his albums, at least in this era.
Right.
So he did have a feature, and people are like, "Who's Kill Edward?" And it's just J. Cole, and he has like a different voice on. I actually like the 2 songs that have that feature, which are "Friends" and "The Cutoff."
Okay.
So I don't know. It's just like the feeling of them. Like it's not even like I could tell you like what my favorite bars are or nothing like that. It's just the feeling of the songs I do like on them. I like they're almost bangers, but they're just like slower.
Yeah,
like they got some bass to them, some like jump to them, but
pretty tight.
Yeah, but like they're like chill.
Yeah, and that song "Once an Addict," that's one of my favorite songs too.
Yeah,
that song fucking is so dope, so deep.
What else do I have on here? ATM, like the songs that he does have on here that are singles. I feel like at this point J. Cole knows how to make a single. Where before on Sideline Story, he was trying to make a single. I think at this point he's so comfortable he knows how to do it. So ATM, fire. And like that video too is badass. Yeah.
Count them up.
Yeah.
Count them up. It's so simple and it's so dope. It's so hard.
It's so like commercial, but he makes it work. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it. Like he's still making a point. Yeah. He's still J. Cole.
Badass.
What else? And then we were talking about Kevin's Heart, but then 1985, how it kind of like summarizes the album. It also teases an album that we haven't got yet, but the whole album is about these younger rappers not knowing their influence. I already explained that. And then 1985 just completely shits on
all of them. Yeah.
And just re-listening to that the other day too. I mean, I listened to all these albums again twice over the past 2 weeks. So re-listening to it, like both times, just like this song is hard as hell. Every bar, there's no wasted lyric. He's just like talking shit beginning to end.
Badass, huh?
It's so good. But yeah, those are like my 5 favorite songs. And those 5, like if that was just like an EP or something, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So this one, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's why I'm getting this album.
Yeah. Well,
because I like it more. All right. So we have 4 more to go on each side. I think we're going to start going quicker as we go because we've already kind of talked about albums that haven't popped up. So 765, number 4 for Eric is For Your Eyes Only. Eyes has a Z, by the way.
I don't care.
You got the 4 right.
I don't care.
Okay.
For Your Eyes Only. You spoke of that song Changes. That was one of my absolute favorite songs when that album came out. And then the actual song For Your Eyes Only. I really loved where he went with this album. I love the concept of it. That shit was super dope for me.
Now, besides Changes, any other songs or maybe songs you don't like that are on there?
Changes, Ville Mentality. Again, I always think of you when we play that song just because we fucking would always sing to each other.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
There's something about rappers that sing that can't sing but just want to. Like Eminem, like back in the day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or it's just like
Haley song.
Yeah, or like they're just singing just because they want. Like I'm down for that. I don't need it to sound
I agree
great.
with you on the She's Mine. It is kind of a slower album. You do have to kind of readjust your ears, if you will. But
those songs
I
are
really
necessary.
Yeah,
because by the time you get to For Your Eyes Only, you realize the story that was told.
Yeah.
And everything. So those songs are necessary, but wish they were better.
Yeah. So we can keep that one short and snappy.
Yeah.
And just because now we've been talking about both.
That's what I'm
albums,
saying. Like that's how this goes. Is usually by the end we'll go faster.
Yeah.
So my number 4, go for it.
Born Sinner.
Born Sinner, the opposite of a winner.
Wow. Born Sinner is a good album.
Now, let me tell you, if we would have just went off the dome and we just did this like for fun or maybe even on camera where we did it like 2 weeks ago, Born Sinner would have been lower because I remember being low on it. I remember being low on like the Sideline Story even when that came out too, besides like the songs I already mentioned.
Yeah.
Born Sinner, like he changed his sound up. He even starts the album. It's way darker this time.
Yeah, he literally tells you.
It ain't that dark, but whatever. I think KOD's darker.
Who are you talking to?
Or for your, yeah. But yeah, Born Sinner, I would have been like, because I don't know what it is. Maybe it was like the time that I had, like the era when this album came out. Maybe I'm tying some memories to it. You know, I don't know why, but Born Sinner's always been like it's okay, just off memory.
Yeah.
Re-listening to it beginning to end, because I went back
great
and yep,
that shit is great.
So this time around, I was just like, damn, I didn't realize how many songs I really love off this album.
Yep.
This shit is a banger.
Then there was the extended edition that came out too with like New York Times and 50 Cent. That's a good song.
I think it's okay.
Is She Gonna Pop? Remember Is She Gonna Pop?
That's a good song.
That's a badass song. Miss America.
You keep it.
Yeah, you can keep that one off. Yeah.
That's an extra.
Yeah. Cricket Smile. You like Cricket Smile though, huh?
I don't, not really.
Because you do got a Cricket Smile.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing is I felt like being a J. Cole fan and he dropped a song called Crooked Smile. I was just like, I can't like this.
No. Yeah,
it's too generic.
No, especially for people like us.
Yeah. I was like, that's generic. I can't do that. Now, I do like it, but it's just like, it's not one of my highlights.
Well, and that was a hit.
It was.
Yeah.
TLC. He brought TLC back.
That was a hit.
From the dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, Born Sinner, I have a lot of hits on here on mine. Now, Born Sinner is not a concept album like we've been talking about. Like, it is just a bunch of good songs. Like, it's just a collection of music. It's almost like just like an update of where he's at now that he's famous after his first album, partially famous, you know?
Yeah.
So
people know him now.
There's so many different types of songs on here, like Land of the Snakes. That's a chill, it's a chill ass song at the beginning of the album. His single, this is probably hit this first like big single because he had a workout, can't get enough, whatever. But Power Trip with Miguel.
Oh yeah,
Power Trip was huge. Yeah. Power Trip's great. And then like he has those J. Cole songs that are on here that are just like not singles. It's just I'm just gonna rap.
Well, and yeah,
Mo Money, where every line ends with money, but he rhymes the word before it, and it's just like a little like interlude. So and it's just like a minute.
And I love, even with Land of the Snakes, I love how the beat is kind of more laid back, but he's just spitting.
Yeah,
he just fucking rapping.
That's
J. Cole to me.
Exactly.
Fuck your singles. You know, give me an album of just that. You know, and
we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We'll get to that album later. But yeah, Mo Money and then Runaway, Badass Hook. Now this one, we'll just call it Rich People.
Okay, I know. I have one as well.
Yeah. We'll just call it Rich People. Quotes. That song's badass too. I'm gonna sound like broken record. That's badass. But let's just
You're
run.
Cool. You're cool. Or no. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool.
You're cool.
Fuck you. I'm out.
Chaining Day. When he talks about like now that he's famous, you know, this is everything that he told me not to do.
Yeah.
He's like spending his money on chains and shit, and like that he relates it to like being a slave, you know, Chaining Day, and it's almost like the role that he's at now. Now that he's like really famous, and like, he has like 1985 where he's talking to these kids about like, hey, be smart with your money. Yeah. Y'all are stupid. It's like his elders were telling him that shit, and he's just like, nah, I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah. And that's the point of the song.
100,000 on the chain again.
Yep. And then like a bunch of like smaller songs, like Ain't That Some Shit? That's like another interlude.
Yeah.
Just rapping.
Fast. Yeah.
Just rapping.
Fast. And that song is kind of he's everywhere on that song. That shit is super
badass beat too.
Yeah. Super loud.
Let Nas Down.
Good song.
That's a good ass song too, which he talks about his first album and especially workout being commercial and all that. And Nas comments on it
Well,
saying,
and imagine for him looking up to Nas for so long.
Yeah.
And if Nas indeed said that, what
He
he
did.
says on the, you know,
yeah.
then fuck that must have made J. Cole feel like shit.
And then, so he has this song.
Fucking sell out.
Yeah. So then J. Cole responds to him with this song, and then like he even like calls him out like, hey, like you had some sellout songs too, so I thought you could relate.
Yeah.
And then
Nas, Nas made a song back to him.
Nas made a verse on that beat back to him called "Made Nas Proud."
That's so dope.
It's cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. Okay.
We can call it the JCU.
What did they call it? The JCCU.
Oh, yeah.
J. Cole Cinematic Universe. All right.
Tight.
But yeah, there's not much to say because it's not like a deep album. It's just an album of a bunch of different types of songs.
Yeah, that's
a collection.
album. Yeah.
No. So I like it. 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Eric's number 3? 6543. Yes. Eric's number 3 is Born Sinner.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I want to piggyback on everything you said. One of my favorite songs off the album is I guess we'll just call it People Know.
Oh.
You remember that, right? What I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That song, dog, the flow that he delivers on that song is absolutely incredible. That is still...
That's one I don't know just off the top. I'm
Really?
sure if you play it, like I know the song, I can hear it in my head, but I don't know like bars like that.
That fucking song, dog, when that shit first came out and I heard that, I was like, damn, like this is fucking peak J. Cole to me.
Really?
His flow, dog, his flow is so fucking back and forth. It's so crazy to think. And I remember that song specifically, people know. I was like, I gotta memorize this whole fucking song. And I remember it took me a while because of how much he flips his words and how much on his flows he goes back and forth. But I got that shit down. took a while.
Go ahead, do it right now.
Yeah. But I pride myself on like, fuck, like I really wanted to know that song and I did. But that song is so hard, Doug.
I remember when I was younger, I did that to a T.I. song.
Oh, really?
I was like,
which one? Why You Wanna?
No, which
Top Back?
No, it was like from like the T.I. versus T.I.P. era.
Oh, maybe fuck, Big Shit Poppin'?
Yes, it was Big Shit Poppin'. I got the lyrics off like the family computer in the living room. I think I maybe like printed them because I remember memorizing it in my room and I had a paper of the lyrics. And just like for that, I just made a day out of that where I was just like, every time I messed up, I just repeat. Yeah. Just learn it.
But even Land of the Snakes, that song is so good to me. Let's see what I got here.
Any negatives?
Not on this album, no.
Like there's some songs.
I would say the end of the extended album.
I don't count them.
It gets kind of
like I listened to them, but for this ranking and everything, I didn't
smile. I never cared about it when it was always on the radio. I remember like cringing and being like, "Fuck! Like this is what I have to listen to now. Like this is the J. Cole that is projecting himself onto the radio, and this is what people are now like knowing him on my way. It just for me, it just wasn't. It wasn't it. But everything else on the album is really good.
I remember when
give it like an 8.
Okay,
like an 8.
So you're same page as me.
Yeah, like an 8.5.
So I remember when he teased Crooked Smile because he like teased his. I think maybe he even had an album listening party, or no, because that means it's done. So I think he was just teasing Crooked Smile, and then he was just kind of like freestyling with like a similar beat, but it didn't sound so like mastered and commercial.
Yeah.
And I remember like when he dropped that bar, like and they all look like my eyebrows thick as hell.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd's just like, oh, but it wasn't like a radio song. It was just like on a cool ass, like chill beat.
Right. I kind of remember that too. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I can't wait for that song. And then when it finally came out and TLC was on it and it was super commercial, I remember I was just like,
come on, man.
It lost it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Tight. Good album.
Your turn. Well, my turn, but you're picking for me.
Okay.
Number 2? Wait, 3?
2. Nope. 3.
Okay.
Friday Night Lights. Wow. Interesting.
It's top 3. Yeah. Friday Night Lights is the one mixtape that we have on here, and I can't even start by saying anything negative about it. There's nothing negative to say at all about it. It's just I like the other 2 albums that are on that list more, like slightly more. I'm gonna start off like right away, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't even think I have I don't even like have a list of my favorite songs on this one because it's just like this one is just so nostalgic for me.
Hell yeah.
And so many just bangers. And no radio singles, which is why this wasn't his official first album.
Right.
just how it starts, dude. When I started this little journey 2 weeks ago, and I was all right, got to start at Friday Night Lights, and Too Deep for the intro starts. Well, first, like, there's the intro, but still, when it transitions from the intro to Too Deep for the intro, just that beat. I'm not gonna do the beat, but just that beat change. I was like, oh, here we go. It's like a story.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a concept album, it's still like it's where he's at. J. Cole's good at like catching us up on like where he's at, how he's feeling, whether it's about the rap game, girlfriend, whatever it is. So many songs on here that are so good. Even though the ones again that he's just rapping. Back to the topic. Fire.
Such a good freestyle.
Yeah, I mean, there's some songs that like I think that might be like they're okay. Like You Got It with Wale, Enchanted, but then like you have Blow Up on here, Higher. See, In the Morning with Drake is on this one.
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares? The worst versions on this one. See, I think In the Morning is on the warm up. In the Morning with Drake is on Friday Night Lights.
I'm gonna go back and find that because I really would like to hear that third verse of J. Cole, and I don't even remember what it is anymore because it's been so long.
Now, Premeditated Murder.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, this song, Premeditated Murder, came out before Kanye's, because it's Kanye's beat and Kanye's song.
And that's why I assume that it's not on, is it on, it's not on Spotify, is it?
This album, like Friday Night Lights?
No, it's not. And I assume it's because of all those beats that are not his.
But this song came out before Kanye's.
So, and then Kanye used that same
But I'm
after the fact.
But it sounds like a Kanye. I might be totally wrong, but from what I remember, because I remember at the time too, I was just like, "Oh, that's J. Cole's beat."
Yeah,
but it sounds like a Kanye beat. Like I'm pretty sure Kanye made it.
Okay.
But what I'm thinking happened. This is just me. I think Kanye made that beat for J. Cole. I could be wrong. It might not even be produced by Kanye, but I feel like Kanye made that beat for J. Cole, and he's like, you know what? I like it more.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it
and just use it. And Kanye's version's badass too. I mean, it's his song.
Yeah.
But Premeditated Murder, badass.
What was that one of Kanye's? Was it Devil in a New Dress?
Yeah.
It was, huh?
Yeah, with Rick Ross.
Okay.
See, that song's fire too. I like J. Cole's more. But I'm just gonna use my time on this album because you're gonna talk about it too. For that song, Farewell as a song, like play that shit at my funeral.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth, you bastard.
Because it's so good. Like, because it's about him, like what people are gonna think and say about him when he's gone.
Yep.
And it's not just say good things about me. He's kind of like what he's wondering what they're gonna say about him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, are they gonna say like I'm a sinner
or a saint?
Like all these different things like that are contrasting each other. Where it's like, am I this? Am I this? And he's just like, yeah, I'm all of that.
Yeah.
I'm human.
And he said, at the end, he says, when they bury me, just know I wasn't nothing but a man.
Wasn't nothing but a man.
Hell yeah.
He said it twice.
Yeah, that on my list, that's like number 4 on my top
of all
10 songs.
Yeah, it would be up. I don't have a top 10 like how you did.
If anybody listening, yes, please play that song at my funeral.
Yeah.
It's on imagine how many people say that about that song, you know?
For real.
How many people relate to that and say that.
That song?
I mean it for real. I want everyone to shut the fuck up, play at least the first verse.
And listen.
And then you can bury me and go on with your lives. It'll be just fine.
Yeah. Have a party.
Yeah, have a party. Do whatever you need to.
And then last song that I want to use for my time here is Looking for Trouble, which is, it feels like, this is like a Kanye and like his good music. Because good music was like a faction at the time. It had, this is like before like the Good Music album, Cruel Summer, that came out a couple of years later. So this had like Big Sean, Pusha T. I forgot who
was Sci-Hi on it. I can't remember.
Sci-Hi, yeah, Sci-Hi. Yeah. Now later on, like we had like 2 Chainz in there and stuff like that, like on the album.
Oh yeah.
But on this song, it has Sci-Hi, Pusha T, Big Sean, Kanye West. So it feels like it was supposed to be a good music song. And again, because Kanye and Jay-Z were so close at the time.
Right.
I feel like this was one where he was just like, hey, like let J. Cole hop on that.
That must have been dope for J. Cole to kind of be in one foot in, one foot in, if you will.
Yeah.
On both sides of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the song, it has all those rappers I already mentioned. Kanye being the biggest, clearly. Big Sean was barely anything at the time. And then it ends. It hasn't, the song, like J. Cole's the last verse on this song. It's the last song of the album. But there's like a whole moment where like the beat slows down and changes, and like it sets up like J. Cole coming in.
Yeah.
Like the beat's changing, it's all slow, and then J. Cole comes in, and then he said, oh, what's the line? I know he says make way for the chosen one, but before that.
Oh yeah.
He says Cold World. Cold World, make way for the chosen one.
Yeah.
But just right away, like, that's how he starts the verse after like all these people like set him up.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, and then he just kills it.
Yeah. Dope.
And we're not even talking about all the singles and EPs that J. Cole had around like these eras too. In between,
Dog,
I was re-listening to "Truly Yours" the other day.
Oh my god! Dog,
oh man!
Well, I even on my notes, I fucking started to write like, and I was listening to certain singles, and I was like, oh my god, for like "Revenge of the Dreamers," that song, not the album, the song "Revenge of the Dreamers." Dog, fuck. I was telling Casey, I was like, fuck, like there's so much, there's so many other songs that aren't on albums that just are fucking top tier to me. Right. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna do this?
And in the features, his feature era too, where he like for 3 years he was just killing it on features.
Yeah, until I talked to you on your birthday, and you were like, "All right, we're just doing fucking hours. We'll be talking forever." If you wanna...
we're already like gonna be an hour. It would be like another hour if we rated the "Truly Yours," "Revenge of the Dreamers."
I mean, at least we can just mention them real quick.
Oh yeah. Shit. Well, at the end we'll do whatever the hell we want. Yeah. But okay, so that was my Friday Night Lights. What is that, number 3? Okay, so Eric's number 2. Cole World, the sideline story. Now, this is so far our biggest disparity, I think, because I had it last, you have it 2.
Yeah.
So why do you like it so much?
I love this album. I love that it was his breakout album, if you will. I agree with you in the sense of the singles, and they kind of feel forced. They kind of feel, my mom made me do this type shit. Yeah. My mom made me make workout, or she wasn't gonna let me have the album, so I get that part of it. But the sideline story, fuck, the best song, dog. I listen to that song so much. Do you mind if I just cut you off very quickly? Yeah.
For me, it feels like sideline story should have started the album, because like the intro and then sideline story, because the intro to the sideline story is about him being signed to Jay-Z, and then sideline story, and then with that beat drop to the ding, 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 ding.
So hard.
It just feels like that's a J. Cole album. Yeah. It should just start there.
Yeah, I agree.
But go ahead.
Yeah. So that song, Never Told, super relatable, super fucking, to me, that was one of the greatest songs ever. And I know I kind of already touched on it when we talked, because I kind of spoiled it, but Breakdown, bro. Breakdown is such a good song to me. Super relatable. When he talks about seeing his dad, he talks about, and I ain't too proud to admit it, and he talks about crying, and he's saying that, to see my father for the first time in a minute.
Yeah. And when I say a minute, I mean years, man.
Yeah, and to me, that's super relatable. I fucking...
Oh, yeah, me too.
I grew up, my dad was in and out of prison for years, my entire life, So, with that song specifically, that's probably one of my favorite songs. I have that number...
Is that what it is?
2. I have that number 2 on my
list. Just wanted a father figure, and J. Cole came around.
I guess so, yeah. But
Big Brother Cole.
And, with Never Told, he's talking about, he's talking about women. He's talking about the way men are with women. And, growing up, I was always a fucking piece of shit to women. I
can attest to this. He was a piece of shit.
I would like to say I'm a lot better now, and I'm through with all that. But
you're engaged, so I would hope that you're a lot better now.
No,
I would say that's an improvement.
Yes. So, but growing up though, that song, and when that shit first came out, where I was in life, it really resonated with me.
You're just like, I am a fuck boy. Yeah. Thanks, Cole.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Thanks for reassuring me, asshole. Yeah, but Breakdown, Never Told, and Sideline Story was my shit. And again, what song I really like is Nothing Lasts Forever. You remember that one? I don't know if it's...
Is it called Nothing Lasts Forever?
Yes. I don't know if it's on the actual album, or if it's on like the extended part of the album. But he starts saying about like, when this shit end, man, it's gonna get ugly, real ugly. Your grandmama love me.
I know,
little sister hug me. Even got a few homegirls that wanna fuck me. That shit.
I do know this song, but where's it? I don't think it's on
Forever. I think it might be on the extended version of.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have it here. I got 18 tracks on here. Yeah, I don't have it here.
Unless it was like a single off that,
like leftovers.
Yeah. But that song, one of my favorites. This album, dog. I remember I had my Sentra. I don't know if you remember my Sentra. Yeah. And I had that on CD, and I would bump the shit out of that. And that's so weird to say, especially because of what I said about 2014 Forest Hills Drive and about fucking overplayed it.
I think
for whatever reason, it aged different with me.
I think you're hung up on how many people listen to it.
You think so? Okay, that's fair. I'll take that. Yeah, and this, this shit was so dope. Cole World, Sideline Story.
Okay. My number 2.
The off season. The fall off, we're gonna call
the off season. AKA the fall off.
The fall off that we haven't got yet.
Now, to me, if like from a technical standpoint, now again, music to me is hard to discuss.
Right.
Because there's so many different elements. There's like the storytelling, and then in hip hop especially, there's flows, there's production. You need to know what the production's doing. Music is so difficult, which you could probably say about movies too, but I feel so much more comfortable talking about movies and TV or just anything with a story, which is why we call Act 4 media, baby. Because we can talk about the different story structure and everything like that. And like that's what I appreciate the most. And those are my favorite albums too, like Kendrick Lamar albums that like tell a story.
Hell yeah.
But for just rapping from like my point of view, from a technical ability, from all those things that I mentioned, from like flow to beats, like just how comfortable you sound, delivery, I think J. Cole is at his best.
He's matured. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's at his best on this album, the off season. Just listening to it, like beginning to end, it's just bars. Just from the beginning all the way to the end, it doesn't feel like anything's wasted. It feels like he had something to prove on this one because people were talking about like, oh, like J. Cole, like his best album is Forest Hills Drive. Like he's fallen off because now he's doing like concept albums. Yeah. It kind of felt, he's even talked about it, how like they're saying he's third place now, like behind Drake and Kendrick. And it's true. Everybody always says that J. Cole's third. And I mean, he is in terms of like sales and all that. Yeah. But in terms of like, you know, all those different technical things that I'm talking about, I always thought that he was second behind Kendrick. But this album is the one that proves to me like, okay, if he wanted to, he can go toe to toe with Kendrick. I still think Kendrick's probably a little bit better, but at least he can make an argument, I think. Yeah. Because he's just rapping his ass. So many different flows. The beats on here, I love every single thing. On my notes of my favorite songs right here, earlier on Forest Hills Drive, I had everything but Get Off My Dick. This one, I put everything is fire. I don't have a single negative thing to say about this. There's so many, it's just bars on bars on bars. He sounds comfortable. His delivery's good. Yeah,
definitely. The music videos are fire.
Music videos, and they're simple.
That he was just fucking putting them out. And they all kind of had the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same vibe, if you will.
Like they're shot the same.
Yeah, they were all shot the same. Yeah, that shit's super dope. When he's on that bike.
Yeah,
that shit's tight.
Let me just pull up my songs or these songs really quick since I said all of them are good. 95 South, like you said, it's kind of out of character though. The whole like, oh, like if you're scared to throw it up, get the fuck out the clip. Like that is a little out of character, but I think that sets the tone of just like, oh, this is gonna be an upbeat album. We're going all the way through.
Right.
Amari, it follows up with Amari and his flow on that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My Life, he actually started doing features again on this one, and he did it with 21 Savage. For some reason, J. Cole and 21 Savage are perfect together. I don't know what it is.
I always think about, at least with that, like, think about 21 Savage's point in that. Like, if I was 21 Savage and I knew I had to make a song with J. Cole and like write some shit and be like, fuck, like I gotta make sure my shit's good. Like, who is it? What is it that like some artist said that like he went back and rewrote his shit after he heard
Big Sean on Control.
Was it on? I thought it was with Eminem.
Maybe he does that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. So, there's some artist that was like, once I heard his shit, I went back and rewrote my shit. Yeah. Like, and I feel like that would be a big thing, like, especially with 21 Savage. Like,
the thing with 21 is, like, when he first came out, like, the people that liked him, like, I dismissed him. Mm-hmm. And without even, like, really listening, I probably heard, like, snippets of his music, but without really listening, I kind of, like, dismissed him as just, like, oh, he's just one of those rappers. Yeah, exactly. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
But 21 Savage has improved year after year after year, and he's gotten better. And for some reason, with J. Cole, he goes off every single time. Like, I think he might be the highlight on that song, which is crazy to say. 21 Savage.
Tight. Now he's on fucking Call of Duty, so. Mama, I made it.
That's the cool thing about him is that he rapped about hood shit. And I remember seeing an interview that changed my perspective on him. And then I started listening to him more. When he was just like, they were asking him about that, like about him like glorifying like his hood shit. And he was saying like, well, like if I never talked about that, I would have never gotten famous. Like I would have never got to where I was.
Right.
So that he's not glorifying it. He's kind of just telling his story.
Yeah.
And since then, I like changed my perspective. And he's not ever getting in any trouble. He's not in drama. You don't hear him.
Shit, you better not be with all the money you make. Yeah, you fucking better.
Well, you would think, but everybody always goes back to the hood and they mess up and they get. Even Lil Wayne's always getting locked up.
Yeah, fucker.
He's with Skip Bayless now. But yeah, all the songs, like, all I'm going to say is the same thing about them is that it's just bars, but applying pressure. Punching the Clock has an intro with Damian Lillard when it's a basketball player, and he's my favorite basketball player.
Yeah.
Favorite basketball player just because of the way he played.
They gave us a chance, like what did he say?
Like we asked for.
We asked for it. So that's what we're gonna do.
And he talks about the off season and how like all the training you do, like eventually it's gonna come up to light.
Yeah.
And I've used that like just for this podcast. Like whenever like I need to get hyped about something, or even like going to work, I'll put Punching the Clock on. Like that's my song. Pride is the Devil with Lil Baby. Again, I don't care for Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Lil Baby kills it.
That transition on from him to Lil Baby, fucking sick.
You wouldn't think that they would mesh.
No.
But like you said, like let go of my hand.
And I'll back it up.
I think you need to listen to this album again with new ears.
Yeah. No. I mean, I know that's why this is dope, because you are now making me appreciate that album just that much more. And again, just because that was where it was on my list, that
doesn't mean you don't like it.
All J. Cole albums,
Exactly.
But it's just there was better.
Yeah. Okay.
In my humble, honest
So
opinion.
I think this is J. Cole at his best. I do have one album ahead of it because this is my favorite list, not my top 7 best albums, you know? So I do have one, and if you've been paying attention, you know what it is. I haven't been paying attention. You're next, by the way.
I'm next? Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been paying attention, so I don't know what you're...
I was trying to think, too. I was like, what albums are we missing here? But...
Oh, I think I know yours.
Go for it.
Is it Friday? Yeah. Friday Night Lights is Eric's number 1.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not going to argue with that at all.
Yeah. This is the one for me that broke the mold.
Oh, by the way, off-season 10 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Okay.
10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights for me, Doug. It is not only my number 1 album, if you will, mixtape, but my number 1 song is bless you, is Too Deep for the Intro.
Really?
Yeah, that song, dog, is so dope, so hard, and it's exactly what you said when that beat switches up and that beat.
It just changes, man.
Yeah, that shit, dog, is so dope.
Is that produced by J. Cole? Do you know?
That beat, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It sounds like it would be.
A lot of them though, they're not his beats though, and that's why I think that it's not on streaming services, because there's no way he's gonna get clearance for all his fucking songs to put it on.
He talks about it in Forest Hills Drive at the end.
Yeah, he does.
I'm gonna go to Supreme Court with this shit.
So, to listen to that, and I actually kind of like that it's not on streaming services, because same with like
see, you're a hipster, man.
Same with like Yours Truly and all those mixtapes. I kind of like that if I want to listen to it,
I like seek it out.
I have to go to YouTube to listen to it now, and I have to deal with these fucking ads, and I have to. I can't
Not if you pay for YouTube Premium, baby.
I got Sunday Ticket on YouTube.
Oh, there you go.
But I kind of like that now. Now looking back, I kind of like that I have to kind of go there and listen to it versus just having it on my phone and being able to listen to it whenever. Because I feel like that kind of keeps it fresh for me.
Yeah.
It's not in my daily routine of songs that I listen to. It's not. If I want to listen to it, I have to go to fucking YouTube and stay there.
Before, like when I had my iPod, like back in the day, in high school and shit, I would download the YouTube converter to like LimeWire or MP4, MP3. So I would like download like the Truly Yours or whatever it may be.
Right.
If I couldn't find a song, I would download it to the converter. I always had like every J. Cole song.
Yeah.
But so many of these I haven't heard in so long. So Truly Yours popped up the other day because I was just listening to it and I have my YouTube on autoplay.
Okay.
So it transitioned into Truly Yours as like I got home from work.
Yeah.
And listening to those songs, I couldn't believe that the words were still in my brain somewhere.
Fuck yeah.
I was just like, dude, I haven't heard this song in like 6-7 years. And it's just there. Yeah. Crazy.
Do you still have like an iPod or didn't you have a Zune at one point?
No, Andy had the Zune.
But do you still have an iPod with like all those old songs on it?
I don't think so.
Dog, I had a fucking laptop with like 3,000 songs from LimeWire, and my brother used to use it to DJ. Well, he got a fucking virus on it, and one of his friends like fucking wiped it, and he wiped everything. Now I remember I was so pissed for so long, like,
it's my life.
Yeah, you're like, I can't get those songs back, right? Like, LimeWire don't fucking work no more. Frostwire don't fucking work no more. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
And I had transferred all those songs into those little square iPods.
The ones that didn't even have a screen? Like...
No, it did have a screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was like a small one, like that. But,
okay.
I had one of those, and that was like my last lifeline. And I remember my stepdad and my mom took it to Mexico with them one time because he wanted music to play. When he came back, I was like, "Where's my iPod?" He's like, "I don't know. Somebody stole it. Like somebody got in the car and took it." And I was like, "No!" I was like, "Fuck!" And that was the last of all my music.
You're like, I hate this family.
Yeah, that was the last of all my music. Now I just have Apple Music, and that's fucking. And there ain't shit on Apple Music.
Just commercial shit.
Yeah, just commercial shit. But no, back to Friday Night Lights. I have Too Deep for the intro on here. Back to the topic. It's so dope.
Already forgot it.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, Friday Night Lights, man. That's my number one. And again, all of those songs are super nostalgic to me. There's not one song on there where I'm like, it's so dope. I can listen to that shit over and over again. And yep, Friday Night Lights. What are some of the other names on there?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it to think if I have any negatives. I mean, I'm trying to remember, what is Enchanted with Omen? I'm trying to remember how it goes.
I can get it.
Again, if you played it, I would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know these words.
He says something like, might see us around the city, but won't even say what's up.
Oh, it's that one?
Play tough.
Won't even smile in mirrors.
Yeah, and we learn to fuck hoes off trial and error. Yeah, it's that song.
Oh, that was fire too.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
The whole thing.
That whole fucking album, or that whole mixtape, dog, is so dope. I was just telling Casey that I want that I want it on vinyl, or I need a CD of it or something. And
it would have to be custom.
Yeah, you would have to find it, Doug, because I really want that shit on vinyl. So J. Cole, if you're listening, I would really love a signed copy of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Make it out to Gabe and Eric.
Yeah, make it out to Act 4 Media.
Act 4 Media.
Right here.
Okay. So, anything else for you?
No.
Love Me Not? That song's good.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The beat on there?
Dog, there is not one song on here that I don't love, and that is not this whole album. That's why it's number one for me. I keep saying album. It's a mixtape, I know.
It's an album.
Yeah.
That's why we're including it. It's because it is an album. There's original beats on here.
Yeah. But that shit, dog, so
the
good.
Autograph, when he goes back home and he's talking about like how, well, the Autograph is about like fake fans and like all that stuff. Home for the Holidays is what I'm thinking of. When he goes back home and everybody's acting different, or they're asking, just how it is. And now that he's famous, going back again, J. Cole is catching us up with his life, like where he's at now. He doesn't have an album yet, but just you signed a Jay-Z, like hey, what's up, and like all this shit.
Yeah. Tight.
Okay,
fucking cool.
My number one. There is only one more, right? Yes. That one's blank.
Yes. Forest Hills Drive.
Very
nice.
mean, same way that you explain, except for all positives. I played the shit out of this album, beginning to end. I abuse it. If you would challenge me, like, okay, like what's the one album beginning to end that you can rap, I would still fail, but I would at least get like 90% of it. Like it's crazy how much sticks with me, like after so long.
It's in those files in the back of your name, in the back of your brain.
Yep, like
we
SpongeBob.
Just
running around. Yep. Like this album is one I don't really listen to that much anymore because, like you said, like I abused it.
Yeah,
I've listened to it so much, beginning to end. The only negative I have on there is "Get Off My Dick," and it's not like I hate that song, but I'll skip it if it pops up.
What else you got?
Let me just oh shit, I'll just say, let me talk about my favorite songs, but I forgot I put everything but "Get Off My Dick" on here. So let me just go through the album tracks right here. Dude, this is just like Friday Night Lights, like when it transitions from the intro into the first song and it starts off with January 28th.
Yeah.
Same feeling where it's just like, here we go. We're listening to the whole thing. Even like this one is kind of like a concept album where it takes us through his life. So January 28th is when he was born. And then we go into like his adolescent years where like he's talking about wet dreams. Wet dreams I like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bump it.
Single.
I'm not. Was it? Oh, yeah, it was. He has a video. Yeah. Wet dreams is cool. I know it's funny because it's like about a high school kid like trying to get laid.
Yeah.
But guess what? I graduated 1 year before the song came out, so
I was a high school kid trying to get laid.
So it related to me definitely. But I can understand if, like, let's say we're 30 now, like you're 30, I'm 28. If this song came out now, I'd probably be like, not for me.
Right. Well, do you know how old J. Cole is? How old is he?
Right now?
37?
1985.
Well, how
40?
Is he 40 now?
Wait, no. He's 10 years older than me, so 38.
38, yeah. I thought he was about 37.
Okay.
So, yeah.
38.
Yeah, 38, huh? So, not to say that we're the same age as him, but...
We're in the same generation.
Yes, exactly. So, That's why it's super relatable to a lot of his songs, especially growing up with them.
But he is older than us, which is why he always felt like Big Brother Cole. Like it's almost like he's rapping about lessons that we're either going through or about to go through. Yeah.
So we were the perfect age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 03 Adolescence is what I was talking about earlier, where it's about him and his friend acting up and he's trying to get famous and all that.
Yeah.
And how he wants to be like his friend, but his friend reveals to him he wants to be like him.
Exactly.
Storytelling. Perfect.
Yep.
A Tale of Two Cities and Fire Squad. Back to back. Those are his bangers. And again, those aren't even singles.
Yeah.
His is like, I'm just going to go off.
Yeah.
Those are fire. No Role Model. Everybody knows No Role Models.
Right. That was a really big hit of his, actually.
First thing first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. And at the concert, too, when we were there, he had everybody put their fingers up.
Yeah.
And then everybody's just like, for real, or Uncle Phil, for real. Yeah, so good. And then just how that album ends with Hello. I don't know who he's talking about there. He's just talking about like a girl having kids. Is he talking about his girlfriend? His wife now?
What is that the one where he's saying like
I thought about you today and I thought about the things you used to say.
Yeah, and he says something about having I can't be a stepdad because I never even had one myself.
I was wondering if you related to that song because without putting you on the spot or with putting you on the spot, you're kind of in that situation.
So for the longest time, me and my stepdad didn't see eye to eye, if you will, and we had a lot of bumping heads over the years, and it was kind of like well, this is my mom's house type shit, but I was
you're not my dad.
I would say
and me too, by the way.
Growing up though, I've really learned to love him and admire him and respect him. And he's super good to my mom. I can't knock that. And it's so funny, just the other day I called him. I was going to put gas and I called him and we ended up having a conversation for like 15 minutes. And I was like, Casey was in the car with us and I was like, I've never had a conversation with this man.
I don't think I've ever
fucking 5 minutes.
I don't think I've talked to you for 15 minutes on the phone.
And so like at the end, we're done with the conversation. I'm like, all right, bro. I was like, love you, bro. I'll see you. He's like, yeah, I love you too. Like, and I hung up and like, we look at each other and we're like,
what just happened?
Like, I was like, so you mean to tell me all this time I just needed to move the fuck out of my house?
Yeah.
Like that was it.
You didn't want an authority figure.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that was the whole problem this whole time.
Now, with my stepdad too, I never had a problem with that where it's just like, oh, you're not my dad. I mean, in the back of my head when he would like tell us to do stuff, I feel that way.
I never said that to my stepfather either.
I never told him that.
Yeah.
But same thing, like when he was like when I started like drinking and I was like 20 and not 21 yet, and he's just, oh, you're not 21, like you can't have your friends over and all that shit. Yeah. I remember being so mad at him for some, for some reason. I was stupid and young. But then like now, like when I go home, like I'll give him a hug and I'll talk to him about work and all this shit. And I'm just like,
I'm still drinking.
I'm drinking more than ever now. And you can't do nothing about it.
Nope. Yeah.
No, but same thing. Like he didn't overstep or anything like that, and like I did appreciate him.
And
I do appreciate him.
I can only remember him like one time blowing up on us. I don't know what the fuck we were doing, but something that he didn't like. I don't know if we were in the garage drinking or something, and he came in and like
we live the same life, man.
Basically told us, like, all right, like enough is fucking enough. Like, and I remember just being like, well, I'm out of here. But they had to have known all those years that we were fucking getting blazed and
100%.
I remember when you told me that, you told your mom that, you're like, yeah, I'd be smoking with Eric. Yeah, blame it all on me.
I didn't just say Eric.
Asshole.
No, I this is what I told her. After I was like old enough to tell her or whatever, I told her, I was like, hey, everybody that's been coming over, it's pretty much smoked.
Yeah.
I didn't just snitch out of nowhere. We were having a conversation. And then I was just like, everyone, and I don't know if I mentioned names, but I remember mentioning another friend where she would have never thought, like he was like this nerdy kid. And I was like, oh yeah, even him.
Yeah.
We're just dumb and young and stupid and listening to J. Cole.
And your house is the house to be.
Yeah, our house was the fun house because no parents were around.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom and Raphael were out working. We're working nights at restaurants.
Hell yeah.
Right after school, come over. Hell yeah. But yeah, we're wrapping up here. I think we talked about everything we needed to for albums. Number one, obviously, I give my Forest Hills Drive 10 out of 10. I think you stopped ranking yours at some point.
Yeah, I sure as hell did.
It don't matter.
That's all right.
The ranking is the important part.
Yeah.
Now I'm just leaving it open to you. Is there anything else you want to talk about regarding J. Cole, whether it be favorite songs or even the songs that are on album or mixtapes we didn't talk about or anything? Open floor. You can talk about whatever the hell you want. And while he looks that up, if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers. We're almost there. That's the big goal.
100 subscribers.
100 subscribers. Once we
Nice.
get triple digits, I'm gonna feel invincible, man.
We're fucking out of here.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to rent a fucking bigger studio.
A studio, yeah.
Yeah,
Now, that's once we start getting money. That's once we get the Patreon going.
Some money's, yeah.
I'm gonna start the
Patreon,
Patreon
yeah.
at 1,000 subscribers. So we're quite a ways out. We're maybe like a year out, maybe even more.
Well, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend, yeah. Make some fake channels too.
Fuck it.
It's all about working the algorithm.
User
I
views.
found out.
Yep, user views.
Yeah.
To me, I have first on here. Do you remember the song "It Won't Be Long"?
It won't be long.
That shit is hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, what is it on? The warm up?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't even think it's on
The
anything.
come
I
up?
think it's on because there's songs that are just
Gotta get up
Singles
out here,
and-
baby.
yeah.
What is that on? You see, like, I don't know.
Yeah, you would have to. It's just on fucking YouTube, is what it is.
Nah.
Yeah.
Just
But
find
on that, the first that I have.
Can you show your notes to the camera, by the way? Because it's not like he just has like 5 things
Well, I
written.
got horrible handwriting.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, they can't read that.
Yeah.
We're shooting in 1080p. I could shoot in 4K, but I don't got the computer memory for it, so we shoot 1080p. Yeah.
But I got Good Game, Show Me Something, Problems, and Grown Simba. You remember Grown Simba?
The Simba series, dude. Return of Simba.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
Cole
yeah.
under pressure.
Fuck yeah.
What that
Return of
make?
Simba.
Diamonds.
Yeah, hell yeah. In my freshest J's, I ain't slept in
Oh.
days. Damn, so hard. I got the Storm on here. What you know about the Storm?
Therapist? What you know about the
what you know about the
Therapist?
Therapist? I got the Storm. on
Yeah.
here. I showed Casey that song. and
It sounds like
that song
like
is so
Kim
dope.
from Eminem.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. Well,
It's-
I mean, not really though. Kim
Right?
from Eminem.
Is Kim the song I'm thinking of?
Kim, where he talks about fucking murdering her.
Yeah, this one's
You
kind of
don't
like
murder
that.
Nobody. Well, he talks about like
Yeah,
but no,
Right?
I don't know, man. He talks about like his homie calling him that he seen
that
his
his
chick at
girl's
the
chick.
mall.
Yeah, and then he kills her.
But he kills her. Fuck, I must have missed that fucking part of class. 'Cause
I could have swore.
I don't know because in the song he says like you need me to run up on him and drop him. He says
Yeah.
and then he says nah, chill, something, something, something. But I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Yeah, and then he confronts his girlfriend that's
Right.
cheating.
he murders her.
It's alluded to. I'm pretty sure, just off memory. I'm trying to think of like the bars.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. Anyways, what about Losing My Balance? Remember Losing My Balance?
Well, now I'm singing the storm in my head. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know losing my balance.
And then I got.
Is that not on a mixtape either?
I don't know if it's not.
That's
on
got to
Friday-
be the
or
warm up.
It's yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, since when I talked to you, like we're just doing albums.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I just grabbed it.
That's not how I sound.
Yeah, that's kind of how you sound. I want to give a special one to Pray off with the
Pray.
game off the Games album.
Ooh, I don't know if I've
It
heard
was
this.
off of what was that album from the game?
He's had so many, dude.
The Jesus Piece. It was off the Jesus Piece album. Yeah.
Maybe I heard it once, like when I heard J. Cole was on
you
it.
know the song. He's like a good girl at heart. I remember you well. I remember you well. No, really? Wow, you better listen to that song.
It's fire.
That's a fucking badass track.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, if I can go for days. I could. I ripped that page out at the house. But yeah. Truly, yours truly one and
Truly
two.
yours.
Oh my god, I said it wrong
Said
the
it,
first
yeah.
fucking time and you corrected
Truly
me.
yours.
Whatever.
There's 3, right? 3 truly yours.
I think so. Yeah, but Cole Summer, that song is dope.
And then what else? I mean, he has his crew now. Jid. If you're listening this far and you don't know who Jid is,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing?
Get the hell out.
Get a life.
Just kidding.
You're living under a rock.
Yeah.
Subscribe and then get the hell out.
Boss. I'm waiting for Omen's album to drop.
Omen, I've never got into him.
No, you didn't listen to Elephant Eyes? It's
No.
It's a badass mix. But he's supposed to have an album done. He fucking will post every so often, like album's done,
Yeah.
fucking just waiting. So-
I like the second generation of Dreamville members that came out, like Jid, Earth
Yeah.
Gang,
Yeah.
Loot.
Oh yeah, hell yes.
I like
fuck
that
with it.
era,
Yeah.
but like Omen, even Boss has gotten better over time.
Yeah.
Because at first he was just like Diet J. Cole,
Right.
and then he's gotten into like his own little lane now too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Omen, like he's got Omen, and who else am I thinking of? There's another one from that first era. Someone with this Cause.
Oh yeah.
Omen
fucking
and Cause, they have bars, but
yeah.
you gotta
didn't
make a
listen to
good
that-
song.
You didn't listen to that new Cause?
No.
What was it called? He has a song on there with YG that's really dope. And then
I didn't know YG was still around.
yeah. I think it's called like Problems or some shit like that. Yeah. Nah, Cause is still dope. I fuck with Cause.
I think he has bars, but to make a song, The only one I like from him that I like bump is the one with J. Cole.
Oh yeah.
What I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Fuck, I don't know. Zendaya.
It's like the black and white. No, it's just like a black and white video.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. I can't remember the name.
Zendaya. Last thing, and then we'll get out of here. Do you think? Well, first of all, J. Cole's got to drop like next year. I think it's time.
Think so?
I think it's time.
So you do think he's gonna drop the Fall Off then?
I don't know, because he keeps changing his plan.
Yeah.
When I saw him at,
I guess he could do whatever the fuck he wants to, really.
Yeah, he doesn't have to retire, but he keeps teasing it in songs.
Yeah.
And then he,
or just like they tease the Kendrick and J. Cole album.
I feel like that still has to happen.
That shit ain't happening.
I think they both have to be done, and then they'll be like, okay, let's do it. I don't
think so. Fuck that Black Friday song though. I fucking
yeah.
I love Kendrick's verse on J. Cole's song. What is that?
I'm trying to remember what song he does it off of.
Or fuck, what is it?
I'm trying to remember what he does.
And then J. Cole's verse on Kendrick's fucking
all right.
Hard.
J. Cole raps over all right, and then Kendrick raps over a
something
J. Cole
off
beat.
the Forest Hills Drive though for sure.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, we'll look. But
we won't.
I'm gonna play that. No, I'm gonna play that.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit is so tight.
But yeah, we definitely need that album. I feel like it's got to come eventually. Did you ever see that review with, I forgot her name, it's like Angela something
Simmons?
You just made that up.
You know who Angela Simmons
is? That Russell Simmons' daughter? But yeah, we got to get that album because I remember he was interviewing with that girl, Angie Martinez, I think?
Yeah. I know. I seen that.
Yeah, and then she brought it up like you guys got to do that album, right? Like people want it. And he was just like, yeah, you think so? Like he seemed like he was down. Kendrick is so like artsy fartsy that I feel like he needs to get all that out of his mind first, and then
no shit,
come back to it. And then be like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. Dude, I don't even want like a 15 song album. Give me like an 8 song EP, and that's it. Yeah, both kill it,
spitting back and forth. Yeah, fuck it.
Shit on these kids.
I'll be happy with that. Yeah, and then be done, and then fucking both of you retire. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I think J. Cole he listed his plan. He said a couple times, like, the Fall Off's going to be his last album, and that's why the off-season came out in between, is because now he has, like, a plan. It's going to be the off-season. Then he started doing, like, the basketball shit.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
I was looking up his basketball highlights a couple days ago, too.
He's all right. He's all right,
yeah. And then I forgot what else it is. It's just, like, something else, and then the Fall Off. I don't know what his plan is. I just think that he has to drop next year, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I think that right now he's in his peak.
Yeah.
It's just about being creative now. But like he's in his peak in terms of like, again, technical.
Well, what does he say that like something about hitting his prime that he still ain't hit it? He's like, you don't remember? I think that's off the off season.
I don't know. I mean, he has a song 100 mil. Yeah. 100 million, I'm still on my grind. 100 million, I'm still on.
It might be on that song. Yeah, well,
Jermaine Cole.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us.
Thank you.
This was fantastic, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
You brought props. You gave me gifts. You complimented me.
Yeah. Thank you all. I hope to return.
He's gonna be back. I don't know what for, man. I don't know if like you'll just be my music guy.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even watching all your videos, I was kind of like, all right, well, not that I don't have the passion for all the shit
movies
you talk about, movies and all that, but I kind of don't. It's kind of like, to think about myself watching, could I do that? You know, like you have other people for that and it works very well. But hey, man, we can talk about anything.
You know what I could use you for is ranking all the Fast and Furious movies because you've fallen off and you don't like the newer ones, but I think that would make for a good
tight to go back and watch them on.
Right. Like Augie too, like my idea for the Fast and Furious video where we talk about all of them is me, you, and Augie.
Yeah.
And I got my third mic right here. So we could probably do something like that.
Yeah.
It won't be anytime soon because October's coming up. We're doing a bunch of spooky stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that. I was also wondering if you just wanted to be the music guy. I don't know. We'll see. But not just music you like, but just in general. Or even like shit that I'm not an expert on. Like maybe you're just like, let's rank all the
Linkin Park.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like what? Because you haven't heard a lot of the newer albums.
No.
And I mean, I won't give my opinion. I won't spoil it. But Linkin Park albums, I'm definitely ranking. I know my friend Misael would be down for that. So I don't know if that would be a 3 thing or a 2. but we'll figure it out. We're definitely going to have you back on.
Twosome into a threesome, huh?
Hey, there comes a point.
Hey-o.
There comes a point where every relationship enters
yeah.
the threesome period, right?
I hope so.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. This has been Eric.
I am Eric.
This has been Gabe.
Peace out.
And until next time, peace out.